Baby? Baby doll? Is that you? Wait, hold on. Don't say anything. Just don't you say a word. I need to be sure first, and I can't have you ruining everything yet again. Never again. Just shh. No words. No words, just the eyes, the nose, the... Oh, it is. It is you. Oh, honey. Honey, where have you been? No, never mind that. Never mind that now. I know. It's been hard and it's been long, but I'm so relieved to have found you again after everything that's happened. The hearts that have been broken and the lies that have been spoken. That there's only 3 words I have to say to you. And they are 3 words I've had a lot of time to think about, so I hope you understand how hard it is for me to say them, but you know that. You know me. You know me. You've known me your entire life, and you were my entire life. You are my color, my light, my stars, my moon, and my sun. You were everything. Irreplaceable by absolutely no one, and to be honest and say that I never tried, that's how you know what I say is true. And now I'm proud to say, to finally say, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. 3 words, 3 times, and I mean it thrice as much, if you can believe it. That'd be like forgiving you 9 times over, but I do. I forgive you for the lies, the treachery, the betrayal, the theft, and the heartbreak. Hell, the humiliation you cast upon me on the eve of your employment dinner in front of the shareholders and everything. I forgive it all. I wash you free of all these sins that made you think that you were cast out into a cruel and unloving world that could never understand you. Not like I could. Not like your mother always could. And now you can come home. Finally, you can come home. I'm sorry you assumed you ever had to leave. Now, we can both go home. To a real home. Where everybody is in their proper place and everyone is who they're supposed to be. Now, doesn't that sound grand, my sweet child? I mean, you had your fun, right? Got it all out of your system? Well, it doesn't matter. You better be, because if you thought you were on a short leash already, just you wait when you see how close to the chest we can keep you after that. Or should I say, close to the throat, because of the... Oh, you always used to laugh at such things, I swear. This rotten world of ours must have broken your funny bone something awful for you to be so dim and lifeless and confused. I couldn't have found you at a better time. The thought of watching you slip away like this is just unbearable to me. And if it's unbearable to me, then that's... We? What do you mean by we? Who else do you think I could be referring to? Your sisters, of course! They've been worried sick after you left. Positively, absolutely, devastatingly bereft. The sweethearts. The dears. Bridget might have the stiff upper lip of the household, but I know she's aching inside, and the way Emily shatters, why... Just... Why would you ever leave if you knew what it would do to us? To the sisters who were once your closest confidants, to me! For you to live the life you claimed you always wanted for yourself, you ripped the gentle throwing pulse of 3 others, 2 of which are still in their prime, away from them. Well, once were in their prime. It's hard to consider anybody at the peak of physical living when you watch them live their day-to-day lives like they're flatlining, stilted, reanimated corpses who are only pulled forward by the will to not break my heart like you did. They don't dream of adventure or conquest or glory. They don't dream of anything any longer. They don't even sing your requiem anymore. Being dead is far different than being dead to us. And yet, you are not either. Well, I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. I don't. I don't really. I don't hope you're happy because I know for damn certain you're not. Because despite it all, despite the postcards with no return addresses and photos found ever so easily online, I know you're not. Because despite the rapturous highs and predictable sort of lows expected of a life seized by one's own hands, you still ended up here, of all places. And I just so happened to find you by complete and total chance, you'd say. Because truly, what are the odds for me, of all people, discover you, of all people, in versa vice? You might as well have begged on your hands and knees for me to come collect you, for me to bring you home. Or are you going to correct me, baby? Are you going to tell me that after you left home in the dead of night that you even deserved the sunshine that followed? That there were never days that you sat alone at your fake plastic wooden kitchen table with barely a fleck of a crumb left after a lifetime spent eating out of the palm of my hand? That the life of your dreams was all that it was cracked up to be? Or that you even got that far to begin with, without a mommy sliding you up the ladder with barely a care? When you have a future so bright that you gotta wear shades, you cannot deny the light must be blinding. The idea that you'd lose your way of walking forward without the ability to see even one foot after another is not entirely impossible to me. With no one there to guide you as one blind and left leading the blind. No wonder you got a tad turned around. I'm grateful for it, but all the same devastated to watch the same strange person I began to get to know when they were not even taller than my knee wander helplessly in a darkness only they can see. Now, it's okay. It's okay. There's nothing you can't tell your mother, and there's nothing she can't figure out. Trust me when I say I know everything. You didn't make it that far, did you? Life's harder than you'd think when you're not sucking on Mama's silver spoon now, is it? Of course, nobody blames you for that unique brand of incompetence, my dear sweet baby. Who would expect more from you to begin with? Maybe by your birthright you're expected to be a grand leader of industry, but if that's the case, no wondering you're struggling to sweep a step or paint a picture. It's just not what you were made for. What you're meant to do and be, baby. Of course you're struggling. You are who you are, and you're undoubtedly, simply, who you were raised to be at my own hand. Listen, there's a lot of things I think you're allowed to say after the experiences you've had and what the world has done to you. This and that and whatnot here and there, but never, never say that I'm not your mother. You may be very cross right now, and there's a lot of words you could call me. Some in your weakest moments you already have. A cold, unfeeling bitch of a woman at this point might as well be a job title. Same as CFO or CEO or founder. It brings me neither satisfaction nor offense to be called this second name of mine. But like it or not, you are my seed, my clone, my strange creation. I am your mother, and we are a family. And despite all the kicking, and the screaming, and the crying, and the hitting, and whatever else it'll take to get you from here to the car and back to the mansion, we are all going to be a family again, whether you like it or not. You had your chance to be someone else, and you failed. Now you're going to be who you were always meant to be. Unless, what? What are you going to tell me? That I'm really not your mother, and you're really not my child, and we're not really a family? That this is all some delusional mistake and an act of desperation that claims my judgment and strikes me blind? Are you really such a slimy little con at this point in your pitiful, lonely life that you really think that I wouldn't remember what my own sweet child would look like? I see now. The world outside the manor sculpted you to be wretched and bitter and cruel, if only so you'd be able to survive. It's time to turn back the clock, my baby, and make you as sweet as you were meant to be. Now, come on, let's go home. We are going to have a long talk. You, your father, Bridget, Emily, and I, about this little crisis of yours, and how we can best go about managing these little acts of hysteria you have the tendency to fall into. I'm sure there's something we can do to quiet that tormented mind of yours, now that we know it brings such grief. But we'll handle it at home. As a family, baby. After all, Mother knows best, and now that this nightmare is over, we've all forgiven and forgotten. Let me be the first to have the honor of saying, welcome home, sweet child. Welcome home.